So Cearrah Sherman, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
So as your first semester, not being from the SGA and kind of getting elected into this position, how's it been going so far?
I think it's been going well. I was really nervous when I got elected. It was just a weird environment after not coming from SGA. I wasn't even a senator. But when they opened it up to student leaders that had just had leadership experience at somewhere on a college campus, it was very encouraging. So I was encouraged by my fellow peers to run, and then I had a lot of help with my campaign. And when I got to speak at the all-Greek meeting, it kind of worked me up a little bit more. I was like, oh, okay, people are behind me on this, and I feel good, and I really want to make a difference. And the other executive board members are there with me, so it works out really well.
Good, good. And what kinds of initiatives have you been working on so far this semester?
Well, right now I'm working on a testing center with 5 of my senators. A testing center is something that I came in contact with at my community college in Frederick County. It's basically a place where students can come in and take an exam if they missed it, or even if they just have to take an exam early. It's going to be set up where students can bring in their stuff. They're going to be student workers or maybe even just adult workers there that can take their stuff and put it in a room, and then they're going to sign in with their name and student ID number, and the professor would have given the test to the proctor and told them the student can take this test from this time to this time, Monday through Friday of this week. And then the student comes in, once they sign in, they're seated at a table and they can take the test. It just takes away the complication of when a student has to miss an assignment for anything, for any reason. They can just go in at their convenience instead of having to work their schedule out with a professor during office hours or even regular school time. And I feel like it falls in line with the bereavement policy the Vice President of University Affairs is working on, where if there's a death in the family and a student has to miss a couple days of school or maybe even weeks, they can come back and it all works out.
Mm-hmm. And so because of last year, you're serving as the new Vice President of Diversity. Last year kind of served as a baseline for a racial discussion. We had several panels and events and just kind of opened that talk up. But what are some ways that you want to kind of put those talks into action this year and this semester?
Well, we definitely have had some more talks at the beginning of this semester just to see where people's heads are at after the summer and after having those talks last semester. And NAACP had their Get Hype event this past week, Wednesday through Friday. There was a panel discussion with some faculty and staff where students had an open dialogue with them discussing the issues, and does Salisbury University's diversity and inclusion plan fall in place with the students' ideals. And also we had a block party where people were promoting healthy people everywhere, and we had discussions even there. And then on Friday was our Justice for Peace peaceful protest outside, where we had students do a die-in. That also happened about 1.5 years ago with the NAACP, and I feel like it's pushing students to realize that it is a serious conversation that needs to be had around not only Salisbury University, around campuses everywhere, around the world even. So I feel like the rally and the different events that different organizations are having on campus is definitely promoting students to come out and have the conversation and then to get involved with the movement. So.
Okay. And speaking of the world and other campuses, what are things that are kind of going on in the public eye that you think that Salisbury personally faces, but then also things that we could change on our campus?
As far as diversity and inclusion, my theme for this year as the Vice President of Diversity is that diversity is more than color. It doesn't always have to come down to race. It could be about the differently disabled. It could be about LGBTQA. It could be about sexual assault victims. It could be about anything that's different from the norm. And I definitely think that Salisbury University and the community surrounding the university should definitely get involved with things like promoting rights just for human beings. It doesn't matter what they have or what they are or how they view themselves. Basic human rights should be for everybody, and everybody should be able to experience that. So.
Okay. And what are some things that you have coming up for the rest of the semester that if students want to get involved in these discussions and these events, how could they get involved?
Well, I definitely would like to promote my International Day, which is happening November 19th from 1 to 4 p.m. in the Y Comico Room. It's basically an event where different organizations, multicultural lines and otherwise, are going to have tables set up, and they're going to have display tables with information on a country that they decide to represent, or several countries. I know the African Student Association is doing several countries. So they're going to have food there, and there are going to be performances with Caribbean dancing, African dancing. The Korean Student Association is participating, and then Passion for Fashion is doing a fashion show with like traditional clothing. So I definitely promote that. The Testing Center is definitely a way to get involved. I know I only have 5 senators, and it's a lot of work to put something like that in here. And I feel like the Testing Center also goes along with the new advising that's put into Blackwell Library now. So we're trying to put that into place. So if anybody wants to help, they can always contact me.
Okay, perfect. Well, Cearrah Sherman, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you.